Story time, story time, story time again. Story time, story time, story time again.
Hi, and welcome to San Bruno Library Presents Once Upon a Time. And I'm Miss Rocky, and I work at the San Bruno Library. And some of you may know me from working at the San Bruno Library or from here at Once Upon a Time San Bruno Library Presents. So today I'm going to read stories with rhymes. I love stories that rhyme. And today that's what I'm going to read to you. But first, let's start with our hello song. We got to start with our hello song. Ready? Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. How are you? How are you? Very well, I thank you. Very well, I thank you. How about you? How about you? All right. I hope you're all awake and ready for some fun stories, because today I'm going to read to you When I Grow Up by Al Yankovic. And what does he look like here, this little boy? Like a fireman, right? Do you think he wants to become a fireman when he grows up? We'll find out. When I grow up, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you know? I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon there in Mrs. Crump's class. And Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you know well, it's time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week the subject, so special to me, was when I grow up, what I am going to be. That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Mrs. Crump said, "Who's ready to share?" you can guess who was there with his hand in the air. I raised both my hands just high as they'd go, and I bounced up and down, and then, what do you know? Well, Mrs. Crump picked me, yes, me, to go first. And oh, I was so happy, I thought I would burst. I proudly stood up and began my oration concerning my choice for a future vocation. Esteemed friends and colleagues, and dear Mrs. Crump, I know what I'm going to be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my hot cuisine. I'll tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna, surrounded by kumquats and candied pig's feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Ooh, bon appetit! My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and my Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservations 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it. I'm certain you see a world-renowned chef is what I'm gonna be. That's very nice, Billy, sweet Mrs. Crump said. Who wants to go next? Maybe Susie or Fred? I said, hold the phone now. I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, 'cause I'm just getting started. See, maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, and even fetch sticks. Of course, all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, I mean, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt that I like. Holy moly, I'll train him to pedal a bike really slowly. Then jump. ooze, through a huge ring of fire, and crawl at a snail's pace across a high wire. Then finish my writing my name with their trails. That's right, I'll be Billy, the master of snails. Or else, maybe I'll be the lathe operator who makes the hydraulic torque wrench calibrator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade that's directly beneath the main radial sockets, inside cooling systems on X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Say, here's an idea. Perhaps just for laughs, I might make my living by milking giraffes. It's so cliche to get milk from a cow. And I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Crumb said. Oh, please. I countered. How else would we make giraffe cheese? Now, don't interrupt me. I'm not really through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. 'Cause maybe I'll be a gorilla masseuse. Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse. Or a rodeo clown, or a movie director, or maybe professional pickle inspector, or a big sumo wrestler, or hedge fund investor, or smelly pit-sniffing deodorant tester. Ew. Or I'll be an expert on nuclear fission, or else a foot model, or friendly mortician, or waiter or skater, or master debater, or dinosaur dusting museum curator, or TV repairman, or sidewalk sun waver, or party time assistant tarantula shaver. And that's about when Mrs. Crump said, Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of those things are you going to choose? I shuffled around and I looked at my shoes. And finally I said, my great-grandfather Bob's been a whole lot of things and a whole bunch of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and a bingo announcer. And know what? He just turned 103, and he's still not quite sure what he wants to be. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly, I'm hoppin'. You'll cut me some slack if I leave options open. Let's just wait and find out what my future brings. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things. And then the bell rang, and we all went to lunch, and I was sipping my pineapple punch. I pondered professions that I'd like to enter, like brave firefighter or crazy inventor. Or maybe, just maybe now, when I grow up, I can be a great teacher, like dear Mrs. Krupp. And there she has a letter from Billy. Teacher Billy, for Miss Crump. Love, Billy. The end. When I grow up. So what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you figured it out? All of those things, maybe. All right. So let's start with another story. And this one is another rhyming story called Being Friends. And this one is by Karen Beaumont. I am me, and you are you. I like red and you like blue. I like purple, you do too. We both like being friends. You are you, and I am me. You're a princess sipping tea, and I'm a swinging chimpanzee. You like makeup, gems, and jewels. I like spaceships, rockets, and tools, and we both like being friends. I like jeans, and you like gowns. I like caps, and you like crowns. I like hanging upside down, and you like twirling round and round. I do cartwheels, you jump rope. We both look through the telescope. We both like being friends. You like cookies, and I like cake. Which will we decide to bake? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Sift the flour and stir the dough. I like books, you read to me. I like adding 2 + 3. You like spelling CAT. I like books, you read to me. We both like being friends. I'm a monster and you're a queen. We trick or treat on Halloween. You scare me, then I scare you. We like the spooky stories. Boo! You hate mushrooms and I hate peas. Pepperoni pizza, please. I like jumping on the bed and you like standing on your head. I like mornings and you like nights. We both like having pillow fights. We both like being friends. I like Saturn and you like Mars. We both like counting falling stars. I pretend that I am you. Copycat, you do too. Sometimes we may play all day. Sometimes we need time away. I like you and you like me. And though we're different as can be, we both like being friends. The end. Being friends. You may have a friend who's opposite of you, who's nothing like you, right? And that's what makes it great to be friends. You can learn from each other. So we're going to take a break and come back, get a drink of water or a drink of juice, and come back, and I'll see you after the break. See you in a little bit.
I hope you find a home. I hope you find a home. Hey, maybe you'll be picked next. Maybe you'll be picked next. We've been caged together too long. We've been caged together too long. How come nobody ever picks me? Maybe they're looking for somebody different. Pick me. Well, the shelter's closing up for another day. We didn't get picked. I know. Tomorrow. Guaranteed.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stands.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
In the event of a car crash, 3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
Pants, pants, pants. I am folding the pants. The pants are long. Do they go on my head? Do they? Do the pants go on my head?
everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Hi, and welcome back to Once Upon a Time, San Bruno Library Presents. And I'm here reading to you stories that rhyme. I hope you enjoyed the last 2 books that I read. And now I'm going to read to you another book that rhymes. It's called Whose Garden Is It? By Mary Ann Hoberman. And if you ever want to come into the library and we can find you books, that you want books that rhyme, we are happy to help you find books that rhyme like these. Picture books. And easy readers like Dr. Seuss, right? Whose Garden Is It? By Mary Ann Hoberman. Mrs. McGee went out walking one day as she was cheerfully wending her way. She passed by a garden with colors so bright she never had seen such a beautiful sight. How splendid, how pleasant, how simply exquisite. This garden is perfect. But whose garden is it? The gardener answered, "It clearly is can be. This garden you see belongs only to me. I am the owner and everyone knows it. I am the person who plants it and grows it. See how I keep it in first-rate condition? No one can come here without my permission." The gardener bowed and allowed her to pass, then went back to weeding and seeding the grass. He grumbled to see that some lettuce was gone and stamped on some strange bumpety lumps in the lawn. Then Mrs. McGee heard a sharp little squeak. Up popped a rabbit, who started to speak. "He says that it's his, but I cannot agree. If no one can come here, then what about me? I've lived here my whole life here. Just see how I dine. He grows me my dinner. This garden is mine." "Not so," sniffed the woodchuck from under a wall. "You eat just a little, but I eat it all. I gobble each bud and each leaf and each vine. I eat the whole garden. This garden is mine." "It's mine," the bird tweetered from high in a tree. "The worms in the garden were put here for me." "Not so," sighed the worm. "Why, I make the soil fine, and that's why I'm put here. This garden is mine." "It's mine," the wasp grumbled. "I've built a fine nest here." "Zzz, it's mine," buzzed the honeybee. "You're just a pest here. I pollinate flowers, it's easy to see. This garden would not even be without me." "Or me," bragged the butterfly. "Begging your pardon, I too spread the pollen all over this garden." "It's mine," squeaked the squash bug. "No, mine," whined the flea. "No, mine," snapped the beetle. "It's planted for me." "Not so," the snake hissed from down under a pine. "I feast on the fellows." moles. This garden is mine. It's mine, groaned the mole. It is full of my furrows. It's mine, squealed the vole. See my bumps and my burrows? The toads and the turtles, the squirrels and the hares, the chipmunks and the crickets all claimed it was theirs. Then Mrs. McGee heard a hum in her ear. Who was that calling her? What did she hear? It's mine, a planted rustled. I blossom in season. If this is a garden, then I am the reason. No, mine, a weed whistled, away in the breeze. You have to be planted. I grow as I please. It's mine, breathed the soil. That is perfectly clear. Nothing could grow here if I were not here. It is mine, barked the tree, for I shelter and shade you. And as my leaves fall year by year, I have made you. Oh, it's mine, smiled the sun, shining down on the tree. I bring heat. I bring light. Nothing lives without me. Nothing lives without me. This is perfectly plain. My showers bring flowers. It's mine, cried the rain. Then Mrs. McGee heard a faint little sound. Something was murmuring under the ground, something that seemed as if she were quite near it. Holding her breath, she bent over to hear it. It is mine, the seed whispered. Although I am small, I am beginning the start of it all. The others may help me, but all of them know, without me to grow from, no garden would grow. The sun was now setting, the day growing late. The gardener called as she walked out the gate. Now wasn't my garden a fine place to visit? But still she kept wondering. Are you still wondering? Pondering and wondering? Whose garden is it? That's the question. Whose garden is it? The end. All right, let's do a little song called Two Little Blackbirds. You're going to have your thumbs up like this. And can you bring out your pinkies and have them fly in the air like this? So your pinky and your thumb, very good. Now bring your pinky in and just your thumbs up like this. And we're going to have them sitting on a hill. Ready? Two little blackbirds sitting on a hill. One named Jack and the other named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. Very good. Now let's try that again. Two little blackbirds sitting on a hill. One named Jack and the other named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. Very good. All right. Now let's do another story. And this one's called Ain't Gonna Paint No More by Karen Beaumont. I just read another story from her earlier. She's got lots of books that rhyme. Karen Beaumont. One day, my mama caught me painting pictures on the floor and the ceiling and the walls and the curtains and the door. And I heard my mama holler like I never did before. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Yeah, I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. That's what I say, but there ain't no way that I ain't gonna paint no more. Uh-oh, he's bringing down the paints. So I take some red and I paint my Head. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. What the heck? I'm gonna paint my neck. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I just can't rest till I paint my chest. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Guess there ain't no harm if I paint my arm. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I just can't stand not to paint my hand. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. But then I see some black. So I paint my back. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Like an Easter egg, I'm gonna paint my leg. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I ain't complete till I paint my feet. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Wow, look at all those colors. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I'm such a nut. I'm gonna paint my, what? Mommy's not happy. Y'all don't faint, 'cause there ain't no paint. So I ain't gonna paint no more. The end. You think he stopped painting? I don't think so. But hopefully he won't paint his whole body again. Well, thank you so much. I had such a great time reading stories to you today. I hope you can visit me at the library, Miss Rocky or Miss Barbara or Miss Susan. We're all the children's section. Please come in and ask us any questions. We're happy to find you any type of book that you want to read or need to read. All right? So, see you next time, and thanks for watching San Bruno Library Presents Once Upon a Time. See you later. Bye.
So sit me down and let the spell begin. I'll find myself in story time again.